I'm assuming, or I'll ask, like, even before fast food, you didn't do anything particular to like fixing things or taking things apart.
Zero. Like, I was probably coming in with like negative experience.
It's and
But
that's the weird part. Like you said, you don't know until you try it.
the wheels, they're trying to turn, the gears are trying to turn, but sometimes it gets a little stuck. And so then you ask the right question, and then boom, the gears start moving, and you get the answers that you need, and it makes more sense to you.
Hola, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reliable Trades podcast. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and you like this video. And if you're listening to this on the audio over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or any other platform, please leave a review. That's all free and it helps support the show and helps it get out to more people. And of course, I'm your host, Adrian Garcia. I am an HVAC technician, licensed contractor here in Texas, and I've been doing this about 18 years. And we just have a lot of good conversations with good people in different trades now, whether it's HVAC, plumbing, electrical. I've had some others in like auto mechanics, anything like that. You bring them on, have a good conversation, and hopefully get more trade awareness out there. So I appreciate everybody who's watched or listened, all the support and making this podcast successful and what it is now. I also want to thank the sponsors of the show, like Jobber, which is a CRM that we use to run our business, which is invoicing, quoting, scheduling jobs, maintenance contracts, and all our technicians on our team usually pick it up relatively quickly. I just have to show them what it is and they are able to get out there and start, invoicing. It's been great running our business with Jobber now. And if you guys want a free trial and discount, make sure to check the link down below, getjobber.com/reliable HVACR. I also want to thank Vito Pro Pack, the best quality bags that money can buy, literally. If you invest in these bags, as I did, during the whole pandemic, I ripped so many backpacks and tool pouches that I finally, I found Vito. I think there were some YouTube videos. So check out Vito Pro Pack at your supply house or go to vitopropack.com to learn more. And the podcast is also brought to you by Local. Local HQ is a marketing that is geared towards the trades, and they can help you with your HVAC digital marketing so that you can dominate your local service areas with proven strategies that get your business more leads. They can help you rank higher on Google and all that you would need. So reach out to them at localhq.com/reliable and mention me or the Reliable Trades podcast and get 2 months of SEO for free. What is up, Josh? How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm good. How about yourself, man? How you doing?
I worked today. Did you work this weekend?
No, not this weekend. I got my rotation coming up pretty soon, though.
Yeah, the summer hits a little bit different though.
Yeah, no lie.
It we had a so I do more and I like to do more of commercial refrigeration. That's my thing, right? That's what I love to do. So today was a
Yeah,
walk-in cooler. So I was like, oh, it's not too bad. Better than, being on the rooftop in a on an HVAC unit all day, right?
100%. Yeah.
So, really quick before we get into kind of the topics that we have today, can you introduce yourself, who you are, kind of maybe the like area that you service of the country, and then like what you do?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Josh. I am from Texas, but I moved to Georgia recently. I'm in the Savannah area. Well, I stay in Hinesville, but I
What?
work and
I'm sorry.
service
What part
Savannah.
of Texas?
I was in Abilene. It's like 2 hours from Dallas.
Oh, it's way up there. Yeah,
So,
I'm from South
yeah.
Texas. I don't know if you know
Oh,
McAllen,
nice.
RGV area.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
I'm at.
I actually have some friends of friends really, who live over in that area. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because like people like to think of San Antonio or that area as South Texas. I'm like, think further down.
Right. It's like there's so much more of Texas than people actually understand.
Which,
So,
unless you come through, you don't realize. Because somebody did tell me that they would have to drive through Texas for work. I don't know if they were going to Cali or what. They were going back and forth, and they had to go through Texas.
mhm.
And they're like, that is a big state to just drive through. It's like
Absolutely, yeah.
just to get to, even here, just to get to the next city, it might take me 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big
So
state.
it's really funny. But yeah, I do commercial cooking equipment, commercial refrigeration. So walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers, RTUs, split systems. I mean, you name it.
You do it
I'm
all.
working on it. Yeah.
Do
Ice
you touch
machines.
everybody's favorite ice machines? What do you think about ice machines? Because some people hate those things.
So I'm still relatively new to it.
Okay.
So it's like not terrible to me. I'm still figuring everything out. But what I will say is the harvest time on these things,
Yeah.
my goodness, the hush is like there was one call I was on. I was waiting like 40, about 35 to 40 minutes for Hashizaki to drop some ice. I'm like, are you serious?
And then like I don't know about like what your rule is, but you gotta wait 2 to 3 batches just to make sure.
hmm
So
Yeah, so on fresh installs, that's what we got to go through the whole process.
yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
and that's what I started with. Well, I mean, like I said, I do more refrigeration. That's what I would, if I could just only do refrigeration, that would be my thing. Like
Yeah.
I only got into the AC stuff because the customers, like we have restaurants and these local places, and they're like, "Oh, do
hmm
you guys check the AC? I mean, we have a problem over here." So then I started, doing AC work, not because I wanted to,
Yeah.
but the customer was like, "Can
Kind
you
of
do it?"
because you had to. Yeah.
You're already there,
I
right? And
understand.
yeah, like the first kind of jobs that I would get when I started was like in hospitals. We did a lot of hospital work, but
Oh, that's awesome.
we stay to the kitchen. We've done the other
Yeah.
floors, and we actually right now they did have to throw us some work. So
Uh-huh.
fortunately, I have guys that work for us, so I don't get all the calls, right?
Yeah.
We do get like the morgue. We do get some of the other stuff where they keep uh like medicines and I think blood. I don't know what
Yeah,
they like,
like,
all these samples and stuff. So every now and then we do get those calls, which I don't know. The guys were like,
hmm
"Yeah, we'll do it," so they want to do it.
there you go.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I remember seeing the huge ice machines that those places have in the kitchens because they're serving
Uh-huh.
the patients, the cafeteria, all that kind of
Yeah, the
stuff,
workers and everybody.
and it was those Hoshizakis, and they were stacked up, and I was like, holy crap, because like
hmm
they're massive and they have a lot of crap
Yeah.
going on, and you're trying to figure out what's going on with it. There's a lot of things to check.
Right. Yeah, there is. So sometimes, and other times like we get into our heads about certain things. So like for me, whenever I was waiting for that ice to drop, that
Yeah.
batch of ice to drop, I was like, oh my gosh, no, my water pump's messed up. I got a solenoid that's leaking by. Like, you know,
Yeah,
but the ice machines just gotta wait it out.
and see, that's the thing, and I have to tell the customer sometimes, right? Because I don't know what they're thinking. I'm there, and nowadays we have probes, we have different things, and I'm using my phone or tablet, right, to check these things,
Yeah,
pressure, ice machines. You gotta check your pressures and all that when it's in harvest, when it's dropping. You got to make sure that it's working properly. So I have no idea if they just
right.
think I'm playing around on my phone or actually doing any work, right? So I usually
Yeah.
explain to them, and it's a discussion that I actually have it here in my notes, like to talk about. Like refrigeration in itself
hmm
is a longer like job
Yes, it's a
generally, right?
process.
Because you
Yeah.
got to wait for temps to satisfy or ice to drop or this and that.
Yeah.
And the ice machines, like I don't have a problem with them. as some guys do. I don't. My customers don't even like to maintenance them, but we started doing some maintenance recently, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
that's not too bad, right? Like it's just you got to spend a day there to do a
Right.
couple, and
Yeah.
it's just the time because let's say you set it up, you run
Hmm.
it, and you fix something, and the ice is too thin or the ice is too thick, then you got to go and adjust it
Uh-huh.
and wait again.
Yep. Yeah, it
And
is
they
definitely a process.
and they all have different times. I've told the guys like this brand it might be 10 minutes, this brand it might be 20 minutes. I mean, it just depends.
Hmm.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you
that's the other funny thing about ice machines too. From Manitowoc to the Hashizaki, you know.
I also want to thank Diversitech. They simplify your work. They have everything a contractor needs to complete a job. That goes from equipment mounting, condensate, management, tools, maintenance chemicals, electrical components, indoor air quality, and much more. They have different branches under the same umbrella. More than likely, you're already using some of their products or tools. So go check out diversitech.com, and it's your one-stop shop for everything HVAC. So you mostly do then commercial work now, like restaurants and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so with the company that I'm at, we we do commercial. It is pretty much strictly commercial. Not so much heavy, but more light.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, cuz
so like
even I even got my license when I got it. I was like I got the class B cuz I'm in Texas. I mean, I know it's different everywhere. I got the class B cuz I was like I don't want to work anything over 25 tons. I'm going to stick
mhm,
to light commercial, right? Cuz I already knew what I was going to do. And
yeah.
do you touch any of like the cooking side as well, or do you stay on the refrigeration side?
So I do. I've gone on a couple, I will say, um, of the hot side. More so stoves, not necessarily fryers. I haven't really touched that, but I've gone on a couple calls with some stoves, and
Is
usually
it
with the stoves, it's sorry, go ahead.
is it intimidating?
Absolutely. At
I
first,
I don't know
it
because some
is.
people,
Yeah.
and I understand because I've been around it a long time. Some people are like, "Oh, it's the same thing," but I'm like, "It is, but it isn't." Like I've
And
gone on these
yep.
calls myself, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like after the call's done, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it now." But during the call, I'm like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, yeah. So that's how I was. And even now, if I go on something hot side, I make sure I got, somebody I can call in case I might
Yeah.
stumble upon something. So,
Well, my
but yeah,
company
it's definitely intimidating
is like a
at first.
partnership. Yeah, anything is like I said when I started those ice machines, I was like scared of, and some of the jobs that we had. Now it feels, but I've been doing this about 18 years. Now it's like whatever, just give me whatever, I'll figure it out. And I'm usually like
Right.
I need to get to the next thing, and I don't get scared about calls anymore. But we have a partnership because it's mine and my dad's company. So my dad does the
Awesome.
hot food side, and he
Yeah.
was like top in his previous the previous job he had. He was like the top guy,
Yeah.
technician of the year. Like he had all this stuff under his belt, and he's like, I want to go solo,
Hmm.
right? So he went, but he's like, I don't want other companies or to work side by side with other companies, right? So he's like, we need to be like an all in
Yeah.
one. So that's why I went to school for that. And
That's
we just
really
work
awesome.
we work as a partnership there. So I like to think that we have the best of the best on his side. I'm pretty confident on my side, and that's how we kind of do our business
Hmm.
because reputation is big. So this year we're starting
Yeah.
to hire people, and it's like I need you guys to be on top of it. And if you run into any issues,
Right.
call me or my dad because we are the guys that put out the fires, as we say.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. How long have y'all been in business for,
It's
like, together?
it's about 18 years because like when he at his previous job, there is a little
Yeah.
bit of conflicting stories, but he was either fired or he quit. Something happened, right? Big
Right. Yeah.
fallout.
Something.
Big fallout. They didn't like that he was, which is another issue that I've heard about. Some like here and there. Sometimes some people, some companies want you to do better, get your license, get your certifications, get everything, and some companies
Hmm.
see that as a threat, right? So
Right.
everything's different. So in his situation, they saw it as a threat, and that was a clash that
Mm.
they had, right? Because he's like, well, eventually I
Yeah.
want my own business, right? And
Yeah.
when he went and opened it up, I was working at a grocery store, so I had to take a pay cut to come into the trades to work for my dad.
Yeah.
But it felt so good to go to my boss because they were treating me like crap, right? And
Oh, yeah.
it's a Sam's Club. I mean, I'm pretty sure you might be familiar with that.
Yeah. I am. I am.
Whole grocery
It's
section to
crazy.
myself as a kid, expecting me to run it, and never got raises, never got a good, not even a pat on the back, right? Like, oh, you're not doing enough.
Man's. Yeah. It was
So,
definitely time to go. So.
so yeah, as soon as my dad was like, if you want to go to HVAC school and come work, with us, because before that, I think I was just working on the weekends with him. If you want to go full time and all that,
Hmm.
well, he'll pay for or help me pay for it and all that kind of stuff. And I felt so good going up to my boss, like, I'm gonna leave. I think I gave him a 2 weeks notice. I was like, I'm getting ready to go work for my dad. I'm out of here, right? Like, I'm giving you my two weeks
Yeah.
notice. It felt awesome.
That's good. That's how it should
So
feel sometimes, like that.
that's how I got into it. How did you get into the trades?
Ooh.
Because it's always like a by accident, family member, some sort of thing.
Well, to be honest, I was working at a fast food job, and like I enjoyed the fast food company I was working with, Whataburger. I'll just say it.
Oh,
Um,
gotta love Whataburger,
yes, I was
Texas
at
staple.
Whataburger. Yes, absolutely. I loved working with Whataburger, but at the same time, it's like I need a change, and so
Did you just get tired of
that's
the same
when.
thing over and over, or was there any issue there?
So the pay wasn't really helping because it's a whole ordeal that I could get into. So basically, um, I was assistant manager for a while, and then my general manager of the store left, and so I was like, I don't want to be managing anymore. Went back down to a regular team member, and they
How
cut the shit out of my pay.
how hard is it to be like that, a manager in that situation? Because we work for a lot of big uh restaurants around, and they're the big names and national ones, like that kind of place.
Hmm.
And I've heard of that recently too. There's a couple of people that actually they're like, I can't do this shit, and they go down to just a regular worker in some capacity because they don't want to be manager.
Yeah. So for me, it was we got a new area manager, which was above my general manager,
Mm,
and this person was not very nice.
yeah.
Pretty much undermined and like tried to discredit everything that I did. And so I was like, you know what? I
Yeah.
don't need this. And so went back down to regular employee, and then, like I said, my pay wasn't much. I was like, fuck, I gotta get out of here. And
That and
luckily
that.
during that time,
No, go
uh,
ahead.
okay, luckily during that time, my friend hit me up. He's like, hey, my boss needs some help. We're looking for some extra guys. I was hoping you could help us out. And I was like, sweet, when do I start? And
Oh,
he's
so
like, you got to do
you
the
were just
interview
looking for
first.
you were just looking for anything at that point, right? Like any change of scenery.
Just about. I knew I didn't want to do anything fast food wise. So,
See that
but
that's just
I felt
like
like I was meant for more than fast food though.
there you go, because that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna get at from that aspect of it because there's that running joke lately because I think the starting pay at fast food now is a little bit higher than what it used to be, right? It's
Yeah.
competitive with a lot of other stuff now, but like what are you gonna get out of it? Like where can you go from
Right.
there, right? You can only go up so much, and then like what else can you do? Whereas I always say if you get into a trade, you build a skill or skills and you have those for life, right? You have those forever. You
Right.
can move around, you can do your own thing, you can do something more, whatever you want with those skills.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right too. And I didn't even think about like what you just said until after I started, a couple years in. And I was like, hey, I've got something I could take anywhere and make some money with this. So
Yeah,
that's
and
the other aspect.
like I said, I don't know about you, but I took a pay cut to go work in the trades, but I knew the potential to make more. And that's what I have to tell because I know like your content, you try to talk to some of the newer guys and the kids, right? And it
Yeah.
honestly, new guys can be any age, but just in general. And the number one question they always have is like, how much do I get? How much do I get paid? What do I start at? I want like X amount of dollars. And I'm like, you
Hmm.
start somewhere a little bit lower and then you work your way up. And my dad is the same way because we hired some kids. One of them was working, well, one of them's my cousin, was working
Uh-huh.
as a nurse, right? Good pay, steady job, but
Yeah.
his work life got flipped upside down because they completely changed what he did. They completely changed the kind of it's like a wing, I guess, in a hospital.
Uh-huh.
Completely converted it to like a mental thing where he deals with
Um,
people that he just doesn't feel good, at work, and they take advantage
yeah.
of what he can or what he's in charge of, and he needed a change of scenery, right? So
Something different. Yeah.
our whole thing was like we can't pay you what you were making, but we can start you. And then my dad and myself are already like we see a lot in him, so of course we want to try to keep him and pay him more. So you gotta
Right.
earn it in the trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know, to be quite honest, my pay was a little bit more whenever I made the jump to start doing HVAC. Uh, but like you said, you progress, you get better, you earn more, and
Well, I
you
mean,
just got to keep getting better.
some places just have a demand for it. So like if they really needed you, they're gonna pay you. I mean that's kind of
Yeah.
universal everywhere. But like I don't know, it's just some people tell me get a they can't find a job or they can't get like the pay that they want. I'm like, well, you might want to like lower the expectation just a little bit,
That's exactly what
right?
I was about to say.
And
Lower your
then
expectation.
get into it and see if you like it and see if you can build something, and then you'll get the pay eventually.
Hmm. Like anybody, I like that you said that. Because I always tell people who are new, like new, give it a year
Yeah.
and see if you like it, see if you don't like it, or if you like kind of like it, put some more effort into honing your skill.
Yeah.
And you you just see how far you can go. Or if you're
So
done with it, go ahead and do something different.
yeah, there's been guys that I know that get out of it just because it's not for them. It's not for everybody. It's a good trade, HVAC in general, but like the trades are good
Right.
all around for a lot of people, but like some people just aren't cut out for it. I had my brother that worked. I have two younger brothers. The youngest one
Uh-huh.
works with us, and I trust him because he went to the same school that I went to, and he's a little
Hmm.
like OCD. He's very meticulous with the way he works, right? So perfect, right?
Yeah.
We do a lot of maintenance, we do a lot of hospital work. Perfect. That's why I drop him as far as like the calls we give him and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, my middle brother quit after one day. because he was like, it's just not for me, right?
Yeah,
And
that's all right, you know.
he's more of a people person, accounting person. Like that was like what he was good
Yeah,
at, numbers and all that. So he has a really good position now at HEB, which I'm sure you heard of. And
yeah, absolutely.
he's in charge. He trains. He does even like the videography. I think he stopped doing it, but he was doing like these little commercials for them locally. Like
Oh,
he was very
nice. Yeah,
talented in other areas, just not like turning
right.
wrenches, right? So it's not for
Hmm.
everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
He didn't give it
I
a
completely
year, but he
agree.
gave it a day.
Well, we found out you didn't like it pretty quick, but at least you tried, I guess.
Yeah, man. Um, so then you said your friends were the ones that got you into it?
Yeah, yeah. So I had a buddy. We've been friends since high school.
Okay.
And like I said, one day he just hit me up. He's like, "Hey, you know, our boss is looking for extra hands. We're wondering if you would be able to help us out." And I was like, "Sweet." So I went ahead and did the interview. Lucky for me, my friend's father-in-law was the owner,
Okay.
and so it wasn't too hard of an interview. I didn't get freaking drilled. Keep in mind, I literally knew nothing,
Well, that was gonna be my next question
and
is like you
so
you went into it without any experience and I'm assuming or I'll ask like even before fast food you didn't do anything particular to like fixing things or taking things apart.
no, not at
Okay.
all, not at all. So yeah, I was zero. Like I was probably coming in with like negative experience.
It's and
But
that's the weird part. Like you said, you don't know until you try it because my cousin from nursing, I was expecting him to complain or just not just do it as a like a summer job or something, right? Like until he gets something
yeah,
else. He fell in love with it and he's a great
yep,
employee now because he'll work on anything. Like he's eager to kind of do
that's
stuff.
awesome.
And he's already running his own
Yeah.
van. He's only been here a few months. I was like, we need more
Hmm.
guys like this.
Keep that guy.
Yeah, that's my
Keep
whole
that
thing. We
guy.
just had a meeting and I'm like, we need to, keep him around, make sure he is taken care of, basically. I also want to thank our new sponsors, CallRail. So I've been more into marketing and just online presence with our business, even though we only do commercial. Word of mouth is really good for any business. But once you get to a place where you want to be, a big name online or just anywhere, be recognizable, like I said, online presence, have a nice website, be able to be searchable in Google and all these different search engines, and just have a big presence. You need to know where to spend your money. And all I'm going to say is that CallRail can help you track that if that's something that you're interested in. CallRail can tell you, hey, these are not working so much. These are working really good. Stop spending your money here. Put more money and effort into this. And just be smarter about what you spend. So make sure you go by callrail.com. They do have a no risk free trial and you can check it out for yourself. So no experience. You got into it. Why just taking a chance? Like was it
Yes,
over
something
was it
different.
overwhelming at all?
Yes, it was. And I remember my first week. Um, so like I said, my friend brought me in. He was like, my boss needs help, and I didn't know what it meant. So I was just running in blind, and they threw me on install. Of course, I was just a helping hand for my friend for quite some time, and then I got out, started doing more stuff on my own. But my first, is sometime during my first week, we were doing a residential install, and I was, I felt so useless. It was the funniest thing ever. No tools, you know, I was just passenger sitting in the passenger seat, occupying space.
Yeah.
Um, but luckily enough, like I said, I was with my friend, and so pretty much the whole time I was working back in Texas, they were just helping out a ton, giving me pointers here and there. Um, that lessened the burden, but it
And I
was
think
still
that
kind of tough.
that's kind of the important part of it is like, even if you're just a helper, because I find myself sometimes too that, they need something fixed right away, and I have like a helper with me, or somebody. When my brother started, the same thing happened. I'm kind of like, get out of my
Hmm.
way. I just want to like put the compressor in or whatever it is. I'm like, kind of get out of the way so I can just do it. And the only thing I can tell you, like as a
Yeah.
helper, is just pay attention, right? And usually I'll be trying to talk
Hmm.
through it and stuff like that. So like, even if you feel useless, like just soak it in and pay attention, so that you can
Yep.
pick something up, right? And I mean, he'll help me with little things here and there, or any helper that I've had. And eventually,
Hmm.
like, when we have time, I can kind of teach more. And then eventually, you can run out your own calls. And then it's just a
Right.
progression at that point.
Absolutely. Um, so for me, a lot of this stuff didn't start to click until I moved to the service side. That's when everything started to make more sense.
Was that still in Texas or
Um,
after you moved?
um, that was after I moved.
Okay. What
So,
was the reason for moving?
my wife, her job, she kind of, they told her like, "Hey, you're going to Georgia." So I was
Mm.
like, "Well, shit, I guess we're going to Georgia."
Starting over. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so, to give a little background, I was in Texas, uh, doing HVAC in Texas for like 3 years. We did the place where I was at. We had uh, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC all in one. Uh, I was I was installing, and also I helped out with the sheet metal, um, sometimes, but not a ton.
I was like,
Then
you
we
got
did
you got
commercial,
sheet metal up there.
and
We got ductboard down here.
yeah, yeah. Um, I've seen I've seen more duckboard in Georgia than I'm comfortable with,
That's
but
all I
you
have
know,
here. Everybody that watches my videos like is complaining
yeah,
about it. I'm like, I didn't install it. That's what I see.
right, yeah. Um, I did install, maintenance, and not so much service, but still picking up a little bit of knowledge,
Hmm.
asking some of the guys who do service, like, hey, what do you run into a lot? Or, you know, um, do bad filters really mess up a unit? Just stuff like that. Um,
And it's
and
good to ask
then,
those questions,
yeah.
because like, even with me, if I don't get any questions from our new guys, like this year we have new guys, I'll pull them aside and give them like a little crash course on certain jobs. Like, if we're there fixing something, I'll give them a little crash course as like, this is what you might find that's common. If you're doing this
Mhm.
job yourself, check this, and this. Like, just trying to give them like little pointers. Uh, and if they have any questions, that's always better, right? Because I have no idea
Absolutely. Yeah.
what you're thinking when you're there as a new guy.
Right. Because I know for me, it's like the wheels, they're trying to turn, the gears are trying to turn, but sometimes it gets a little stuck. And so then you ask the right question, and then boom, the gears start moving, and you get the answers that you need, and it makes more sense to you. Um, So something I wish I did more in the beginning of my journey is ask more questions. I kind of I won't say a lot of stuff, but of course some stuff you got to figure out the hard way.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
because
wish I would have.
I had
Yeah.
a guy that I worked that we would because like technically it was my dad's company, but we had a refrigeration guy that kind of did some subcontracting and stuff like that since I didn't or I
Uh-huh.
was still going to school and stuff. So that was a workaround for a little bit. And I got to work under this guy when I had, the days that I could go to work. And
Yeah.
it was funny because one I'm not much of a school person. Like you strictly learned on the job, right?
Yeah.
So I went to my community college that offered HVAC. And this is coming from somebody that
Hmm.
did well in high school or well enough and just didn't like it. And then I had to take
Yeah.
time off afterwards before I even decided, to go to college because I'm not a school person. And
Right.
it was funny because I was going to the HVAC school and it was good. We got a lot of hands on. We got a lot of great feedback from the teachers. Some of them ran a business, so we got a lot of
Hmm.
insight and stuff like that. And then one morning, like we had an out of town job that was like installation, removing RTUs. I think like it was a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on, and I was like, I don't want to miss that. So I skipped school, and we went
Uh-huh.
to a Stripes to gas up, and I ran into my teacher there. I guess he was getting a breakfast or something. He's like, "Aren't you
Uh-oh.
supposed to be in school today?" I'm like, I was like, "Look, I'm sorry. I got this big job that I really want to go to. Like, I want the experience." And that just reminded me because, like, I just really wanted to be out in the field. Like, it was hard for me to get through like the
Hmm.
schooling stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a huge school person either. So I feel you there. Yeah.
So then, Texas to Georgia. So you understand the heat, right?
Uh, yes, it is. So, like with Texas, it can get humid sometimes, but it's still more of a dry heat.
Well, where you
Um,
were at, we have humidity here.
oh, see, so yeah, so us, we were more of a dry heat, but in Georgia and Florida, humidity
Oh
is
yeah,
crazy.
Florida. Like
It's
we get
insane.
similar weather to Florida where I'm at.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah, because I'm like
yeah.
less than 2 hours away from the beach, so like the humidity
Oh,
is
yeah,
is here,
it's getting you for sure.
and and we can. Well, you said you moved to Georgia. Is that where they did you still do installs or did they get you into
Oh,
something
I'm sorry,
else?
I forgot to go into that.
Well, I
So
have a bunch of
whenever I
topics, and I'm trying not to lose myself either.
gotcha. So whenever I landed in Georgia, I stumbled upon a like strictly residential place. Now, keep in mind, I'm coming from commercial.
Oh
Eh,
yeah.
we we did commercial and residential, but more so commercial. So I'm still in a commercial mindset. Um, but I landed in this place that's strictly residential, and it's kind of like whenever I landed at this place, that's when I started. Like I said, it's when it kind of clicked for me. Um, Everything started making sense. I was already like an above average installer already. And so I was like, this is kind of fun. Let me see if I can push more into service. And so I started off installing and then I went to maintenance. And then from there, before I left that company, I was doing maintenance and service and just helping out with installs. And so finally, where I'm at right now, it is. pretty much strictly service. I haven't had to do too many installs
Okay.
with refrigeration stuff. Um, I've helped out with some hot side installs. They do a bunch of rationales.
Yeah.
Uh, so I've helped out with that. But yeah, doing strictly service commercial, and
So a lot
I
of
don't.
refrigeration, RTUs, things like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind residential, but it's not preferred.
So I've had to deal with here. I mean, I'm sure it happens everywhere. Like these AC units are not either ducted properly, or it's the wrong size unit, or because then the
Yep.
customer's like, I got hot spots and cold spots, and I get in the drop ceiling, and I'm like, this duct is a mess. It's not routed the way it's supposed to be. Your balancing's all
Yeah,
off. And it's funny because I get
I'm
comments that are like,
actually
no, it was
dealing with that
installed.
right now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, really? Um,
Yeah,
so then I get
I
comments.
don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I get
sorry.
comments that they're like, it was installed that way for a reason. It's designed and this and that. I'm like, no, somebody just slapped it in there
No.
and took the check.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it is with a lot of even in these business spaces, these split systems,
I hate those.
you know, it's some people it is like they slapped it up in there and then we're like, "Hey, we're good. We're rolling out. Thanks for your, you know, tens of thousands of bucks." And
Yep.
then we're gone.
Or unless it was
So,
the other thing I might think is like it was installed in the very beginning, right? Like before everything got
mm,
built around it. Because I had one a few weeks ago, and I got up there, and there's an AC unit right at the like ceiling tiles, right? I had to move them over, and I have one there. That's the one
yeah.
that I've worked on before. I was like, cool, no problem. I can't get to the electrical side that easily because it's over the registers, and then there's this big
Oh goodness.
signage and lights around the bottom of it. I'm like, how do I get
Uh-huh.
over that? And then they
Right.
had an issue with another AC, and I was like looking for it in the drop ceiling, and it's even higher. It's like basically to the roof
Oh
of the
God.
building,
Yeah.
and it's one of the higher ones that we have. It's like 24 feet or something. And I
Good
was like, I don't have a
Lord.
ladder. I don't have a ladder that goes up that high in here. So I had to get some help on that one, but we had to get
Mm,
the skinny kids to go and do that because I was like, I can't get up there.
right. Yeah. That's ridiculous. It's
So did
pretty
you have
much like
a
stacking them.
duct issue or something that you were talking about?
Yeah, so um I don't know if I can I say the names of these businesses? Because that's the only way I can.
As long
Is it
as
okay?
it doesn't get you in trouble, I don't care.
I'll switch it up. So at Guys Five, there
Okay.
is a I've got three RTUs, and on RTU one, whoever put the return, they installed the return tile. They put it right by the ice machine.
Mm,
So that return is sucking up all that hot air
yeah,
and
they get really
it's
hot.
it's recirculate that RTU is pretty much recirculating the hot air. So I've talked to the manager about that. And then for RTU 3, they have one of their ducts in their bathroom is like torn apart. It's got a hole in it.
Yeah.
And we let them know about it already. That cool air is blowing all into the attic space,
Yeah.
and the vents, the humidity is already kind of high in there in the first place, but the grills are starting to sweat on that side too. And
Dude,
so
that's where I
it's
get
a lot.
annoyed and I'm like, something else. There's a bigger issue
Yeah.
here. Um and it's just I don't know. It's the things you see on the AC side. It's because on the refrigeration walk-ins and all that, it's pretty cut and dry, right? You got a
Hmm.
condenser, an evaporator, and some motors and some safeties. That's usually your issue, right? Or leaks.
Yeah.
And you get to an AC system, and it's a whole different thing because, like you said, there's humidity problems, there's vents, there's ducts, and I
Hmm.
had one that was like that, and they wanted a new system, and one of the guys, I think one of our guys was also like, yeah, like I think it had leaked out or something, and I was like, dude, that's fixable. Like
Uh,
I'm not worried about that. I was like, we need to check because I think we added refrigerant because it wasn't a huge leak. Like we topped it off. It was just missing a little bit
yeah.
just to see what it does. I was like, let's see what it does because we hadn't worked on it, I don't think at all. And
Uh-huh.
they were like, oh, can you? Because they asked me to condemn it, like the business, so that they can get a
Yeah.
so they could get a new one. And I'm like, if I install a new one and it still doesn't work, that's my reputation. um,
You're right. Like that falls back
so
on me.
yeah, so I was like, let's top it off and see what happens. And then I got into the ceiling. There was so many because it's all flex duct. There's so much
Yeah.
flex duct that was disconnected. There was like
Uh,
two also that were like routed to some vents, but they were just left in the attic space. And like one
yeah.
of them, I couldn't even figure out where it went. Like it was just there. Like they ran it and they
Yeah.
had nowhere to put it and they just left it there. I'm like, all your cold air is in the attic. But
You're right.
I'm sure you doing
It's
commercial because
crazy
like
that that
because
happened.
people tell me like, why don't you just fix it? You're there because like when I post videos of this stuff, and I was like, I have to get approval for any of this. Like I can't just
Hmm.
redo the duct for free.
Yeah. So that was definitely one of my struggles in service as in the beginning. And like because I want to fix it right away, but at the same time, like this is more than just my decision to try, get everything. Like you say, we need approval for some stuff, and then on top of that, you may have a leak on something, and it's like, hey, I can, like on older units,
Oh, I got a
you can
story
be
for
like,
that.
hey, I can fix this leak, but this unit is so old, I can't promise you that anything else, wouldn't happen within a year, 6 months, whatever. And
Yeah.
um and so that was really a struggle for me because I was like so focused on fixing stuff, and sometimes the best fix is to not mess with it at all. Sometimes it's better to go ahead and get another unit.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's a balance because I mean, I think of it more because I'm a business owner, but like I had that problem too when I started. Like I know I can fix it, and it's like, well, then I've had businesses that argue invoices or like, why did you do this or why did you do that or I didn't approve that or I'm not paying that. So that's when I started kind of reevaluating that part. Like, okay, I need to
Hmm.
write everything out. I need to explain to the customer everything. I need to get approval, get it in writing. Like there's all these things that I had to learn as well. Uh, because if
Yeah,
it was up to me, I just go and fix everything. And I tell people all the time, like,
right.
yeah, if it was up to me and I had the time and money from the customer, like they're gonna get all new duct, they're gonna get all new this and that,
Yeah,
right? Like they'll get it,
absolutely.
they'll get it done, but it doesn't work that
Right.
way.
You won't have to worry about this thing for another 10 years if I do what I want to do.
But what do they want? They want it done cheap and they want it, done quickly. And it's like, well,
Hmm.
you got to work with them sometimes. But
Right.
that whole thing, like you said about, that you could just it has a leak and it's not best to put in refrigerant or whatever it is. I had
Hmm.
a I had a business and I don't remember why they must have just called us out of the blue because I think we were working at the pizza place next door And then this was it was like a Korean spot, and they called us.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go. One of my guys went, and the owner was adamant because my guy found like leaks in the coils, and
Hmm.
he said it was like beyond, not beyond repair, but beyond his comfort of like putting like money into it, right? Like you should get a new system.
Right.
And the guy, the business owner was like, no, I just want to top off. I understand this
Mm.
and that. Don't worry about it. Just put it in. So my guy did it. It leaked a couple of days later, and
Yeah.
the guy was the restaurant owner was pissed, and we're like, we told you, right? And
Yeah.
my cousin, the one that I told you was new, was
Yeah.
there, and he got cussed out, and he was just an innocent bystander because he had nothing to do with it. He was just a
He's
ride along.
catching strays. Yeah.
So I wish I had been there to kind of try to de-escalate it, but that's one that we should have walked away from.
It took me a second to understand that as well. Out of the kindness of my heart, I'd like to get you up and running, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I can't promise anything, you know.
It's going to do one of two things: either piss them off, because I've had that too with other customers where I just tell them no, they want like a leak seal or something, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
it's not going to do anything. Like that leak is too big. So
Yeah.
I've had that. That's going to do one of two things: like they're either going to get pissed, or you're going to end up doing a lot of free work, and it's not good for business. I found you on TikTok. You're on TikTok. You don't do anything else, right?
No, I'm just on TikTok.
I don't remember what I had seen of yours, but like you're very calm and collective in a lot of your stuff. I thought it was neat, and I'm like that too. I don't know about you, but people don't like sometimes that I'm too calm. I'm like, what's there to get riled up about,
Yeah.
right? Like, don't take life too
Yeah.
serious. But why did you start posting on TikTok? Because I did want to bring up some of the content you have, because you go out there and you are, giving advice from work perspective. I think life in general, and you've had these other little
Yeah.
topics here and there that you get into.
So I started posting because it's like I no, I'm spending a lot of time at this place. Let me just kind of go ahead and show people what I do.
Yeah,
So
I
I
used
was kind of
to.
just bullshitting,
Yeah,
but
I like me
then I started
personally.
like it.
Before I had my channel and stuff, I would just post it on like my personal Facebook, and I'm like, man, nobody cares about what I do. So then I had to like start posting
Uh-huh.
elsewhere where like people actually saw it, that were like in the field and stuff.
Yeah, and TikTok has so much reach. It's kind of wild. Um,
It's like the new Google. I
you
think
know.
people go on there to search things
Yeah.
now.
I was just kind of like, fuck it. I wonder if I can find some more HVAC people. And sure enough,
It's
I did.
crazy. There's a lot. I think I heard you talk on
Nice.
like Pat's channel, like Refrigeration Man,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. He was
Roger.
one of the first people I started following, and then I found Mr. Roger.
I
Um,
found
and he's a smart
Refrigeration
dude
Man
too.
from his little carpet thing where he would make these like jokes and
Yeah.
memes in his van. Casey is another one that I found early
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. I follow him too. He's a freaking hardworking dude. Uh,
Yeah.
so
I
he helped me out with some troubleshooting stuff, believe it or not, um,
Who was that?
while I was doing residential. Casey.
Casey is like, he's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. I got to meet him down at the AHR Expo. He was
Hmm.
there, and he's awesome in person. He's the same person. And
Yeah, that's really cool.
I had him on my podcast last year, I think, and it was just awesome because he's one of those genuine people, because he didn't expect to blow up and to be doing everything that he's doing. He did
Yeah.
something at the time when we recorded. He did something like to help kids in school. I think he was getting them like tools that were sponsored, It
Oh,
was like
that's what's
sponsored
up.
by
That's pretty
Klein or
cool.
Lowe's or something. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's what being like on these platforms should be, is like to help others with your
right.
platform. Has TikTok helped you like with motivation or kind of like
Dude, 1,000%. So it's when I got into started doing more refrigeration, um, following Refrigeration Man, I was dissecting all of that dude's videos, learning about defrost clocks, learning more about the walk-in cooler evaporators, learning about receivers, just different stuff. Like even when he does his ice machine walkthroughs,
oh
I
yeah.
still watch those. That's super helpful for me.
Like I said, you've made it a point to kind of help others, particularly like somebody new and you know, stuff like that, like with the things that you talk about. You've
Yeah.
dealt with heat exhaustion yourself, right?
Yes. Yes,
What is that
absolutely.
what does that feel like, or what are the kind of the symptoms for that?
So for heat exhaustion, usually the stuff you want to look out for is a lot of brain fog, because that's how I know I've been on a roof too long or in an attic too long. Whenever you start to forget what you're doing in the middle of doing something,
Yeah.
you need a break.
I don't think I've
Um,
ever dealt with it. That's kind of
yeah.
why I'm asking you about it. I had seen some of your videos on that.
Yeah. The next thing to look out for is whenever you stop sweating. Um,
That's crazy.
I don't I haven't had to deal with that. I
Okay.
usually try and do my best to stay hydrated, but that is something to look out for. Especially doing these attic installs. You're working, you're going, trying to get done as fast as possible, really. And so
Yeah.
within working, you forget to drink water because you're just going and going and going. And that happens to a lot of people too. So, I was lucky enough whenever I was installing with my friends, if it was a really hot day, they've been in it longer than I have. They have the authority, so they're like, "Hey,
Mm.
everybody, let's go ahead and take a little break, and then we'll get back at it." Um,
Have you ever had
and so
to deal with somebody that makes you work through that, or has it always been decent?
I I have. Um, so I hate to say it, there's some times where you just gotta bite the bullet and
Yeah.
you got a job to get done. So you got to make sure it gets done on time. But that doesn't mean you completely neglect however you're feeling. So what that looked like for me is whenever I was with my friends, if I noticed they were starting to get like, you know, a little brain fog
Yeah.
and I was still okay, then I'd tell them like, hey, go ahead and get a break. I'm gonna keep on working. Or vice versa. If I start to get a little, exhausted and they felt fine, they would keep on working and I would take a break. So just really looking out for each other, having each other's backs. If you've been on top of roof for some time, uh, say I was down on the ground at the truck and I'm coming back up to a roof, bring a bottle of water with you. Bring an extra bottle of water with you for your person. Or if you're in an attic,
Yeah.
bring two bottles of water
Yeah,
for
man.
that other person.
Yeah, because like during the summer is when I'll take a cooler on the van, right? Because you always got to have like
Hmm.
water and Gatorade.
Yeah.
Any big job that we have, we get a whole bunch just to have on the job site, because you'll go through it. You'll go through it like crazy too, drinking all day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you will.
it's no joke because I think you said that you even had trouble like wiring thermostats when you get to that point.
Yeah, yeah. It happened sometime last year. Like I said, you're working and then you kind of forget what you're doing in the middle of work, and it's hard to refocus. So that's when I know I need to take a break, sit
Yeah,
in
you
the
got to be
truck, drink
careful.
some water. Oh,
What
yeah,
what I was gonna bring up is because I had recently done a video because I'm trying to show more of everything in between the jobs, right? Like running out to get
yeah.
parts, gas. And this particular video I was gassing up, and I'm like, I'm gonna take my lunch in a few minutes because I got to go get the part. I was out of town.
Hmm.
I had to go run back and get it because I didn't have an ECM motor on me, and then come back.
Yeah.
So I was gonna like drive a couple hours, and somebody in my comments was like, "You're lucky, or you only got a lunch because you're the boss." I was like, I was like, all my
Oh,
guys,
people.
I was like, all my
Yeah.
guys get a lunch. I'm like, I'm not making them work, all day straight, 8 hours, whatever it is. Like, you got to take care
Yeah.
of yourself. And it
Right.
just reminded me that there is that mindset too that we just all have, that we need to get things done. And it does happen. I do
Hmm.
sometimes push through lunch, and I take a lunch like at 3 or 4. Like, I'm not proud of it, but it
Yeah.
happens, right?
So yeah,
And
sometimes you just get working.
yeah, and some days you can do it, some days you can't. But you should always take those breaks, not just a lunch break, but like you said, step out to the
Hmm.
van, take a little breather, get some water. I know for me, like I've never been like completely in like heat exhaustion or dehydrated or anything like that. But like when I'm on a roof for a long time and it's hot and you feel it, you start,
Yeah.
like you said, you're not as efficient because like I've never forgotten anything, but I just feel like I'm taking longer. I'm getting frustrated,
Hmm.
things of that nature, and it's I have to remind myself, go take a damn break, because five
Yeah.
minutes, 10 minutes, and you go back, you're way better off.
Right. Having that mental clarity, that, like you said, efficiency. Um,
That's the number one thing for me is like
yeah.
when I'm in the heat like that, and I get upset if I forget like a hat, because like I mean in Texas it's sunny, white roofs. I'm sure you deal with that too,
Oh
and
yeah.
you got to stay covered, and your sunglasses and
Uh-huh.
everything. If not,
Sunglasses. Yeah.
if not, you're gonna get frustrated. So, what kind of hobbies do you have to kind of get away from work? Like, is there anything that you do? Do you have a family at all yet?
I don't have kids. It's me and my wife.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that still takes up a good amount of time.
No,
Me
I
and
mean
her doing things
there's yeah, because I always tell people you gotta have a life outside of work, right?
outside.
So
Yeah.
it's you and your wife, or like somebody and their kids, or whatever it is. Like there's a life outside of work. So do you have like a
Hmm.
boundary between work
So
and after work?
me and my wife, we get up, we work out, go to the gym early.
Y'all go together?
So yeah, yeah.
I know another couple that does
So
that. I'm like, man, that's so awesome.
yeah, yeah, it helps a lot. So for that's our time, that's where I can draw my boundary. If I'm not on call or anything, don't don't contact me.
Oh, I'm the same way.
I'll answer if I need to, but don't ask me to get up at 5 a.m. to go somewhere, you know. And then on the weekends, like Saturday is, again, me and my wife will go to the gym. We'll hang out after, depending on, what we got planned. We might go eat after together too. So like that's that's my time. I
You got to
don't I
have
don't
it.
need. Yeah, yeah. So I'll leave my work phone at the house, and like I said, I'm just cruising, just chilling.
for you, then working out is kind of like your outlet, and that helps you get away too.
Yeah, so my hobbies outside of this are working out and video games. I'm a big video game person. I
I
also
used to be.
enjoy anime. So I'm kind of a nerd, not gonna lie. But
Hey, look, when I was
it's my
younger,
thing.
I was the nerd too because I like I said I did well in school and I played video games. I did all that kind of stuff. I was into sports, but it was just basketball. And
Yeah.
being a nerd kind of helped out my dad in the beginning because he knew nothing about technology. So like
Hmm.
who did all the computer and paperwork and
Yeah.
documents and all that? It was me. So
It's
it came in
you.
handy.
Yeah.
So I've heard of that before. Like the people that I'm trying to work out in the morning, but I'm not
Yeah, I
I'm
was
not a
about to
morning
ask you,
person.
you getting in
I'm
to
not a
the
morning
gym or
I'm not a morning person. That's the problem. But I have been more of a morning person since having kids because they like to be up early. So like that's the whole thing.
yeah.
Uh, so well, I've heard of that. Like they need that morning routine or they can't function like that day or something. But for
Yeah.
me, it was funny because in that video that I talked about, I mentioned that I need to get back into working out because a few years ago I had actually lost 50 pounds and I was pretty strict.
Uh-huh.
And I think I've heard you talking about that whole like carbs and calorie deficit and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was kind of strict on that. I'm not like because I have friends that do keto and all this other stuff. I feel like those are kind of gimmicky
Hmm.
and
They are.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Keto
was
is.
like, believe me, it didn't look like it worked. And I just kind of tried to track some stuff and work out a lot. And I lost 50 pounds. And it's funny because one of my friends, or Jake, who I do another show with, he always calls me
Hmm.
slim. And he was like, when the hell were you 50 pounds heavier? I was like, dude, like a while back, I had to lose that. And I've gained a little bit of it back. Like, I think I've gained like 20 of it back, but it's because I was so skinny that you don't notice it. And
Yeah.
I'm getting to that danger zone. So I need to get back into it because I was like, I don't want to be over a certain
Mm.
weight because for me personally, I have bad knees. I've had ACL repairs and stuff like that. So if
Oh
I'm
man. Yeah.
overweight, it affects me a lot at work, like over a certain weight.
Something I don't really talk about is I used to be a personal trainer and a coach. Um, I got out of personal training really whenever I came into Georgia, but I still try to do my best to, if my close friends have any question or really anybody has any questions, I'm open to answer. I'm not like how do I put this? I'm not like a bodybuilding competition coach,
Yeah.
but if you got some questions, I can most
Hey,
likely
maybe
answer them, whatever you need.
I might hit you up at some point. Do you have
All right.
any tips or pointers like cuz being in the trade, I think is what gets a lot of people is like you're always on the go. It's easy to get fast food all the time.
Hmm.
And kind of a lot of people put on weight when they get into the trades if they don't have it under control. Any pointers or
Yeah.
tips that you've given out or have come to mind as far as like health or what do you call it? Healthy tips or advice being in the
Um,
trades.
so my healthy tip for being in the trades would be to bring your lunch. Not
That's a
only
big one.
is that going to be cost effective, you can bring like two or three different meals. Don't just bring one thing for lunch because sometimes you never know what you're going to run into. And then on top of that, you may get hungry. Like, I don't know, say you had your lunch at 12, you may get hungry at like 2 or 3. Don't restrict yourself. It's okay to have a burger and fries or a pizza sometimes, because some of these places they just be trying to feed you, and there's like it's
Oh,
hard to
working
say no.
working at restaurants? Yes.
Yeah.
That might have
Um,
been when I was my heaviest. Is back like even further, but I didn't weigh myself at that point, so I can't tell you like what I was at that point. Because I
yeah.
worked at like we worked a lot at IHOPs and Denny's and all
Uh,
these places, and
uh-huh.
the cooks were really cool. Like, hey, we're gonna, we'll feed you, we'll make you this, we'll make you whatever you want, and you have to learn to say no after a while because I'm eating
Yeah,
too damn much.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Some of these people you have to learn how to say no to, and they'll back off eventually. I'm not saying you got to cut it out completely. Because last week I was working at a pizza place helping them fix something, and they gave me a really, really good pizza.
Oh yeah.
And but it's a balance. Sometimes you got to learn to say no, and then other times you can go ahead and say yes. So what I would say is depending on where you are and what you do, if someone or a company offers you like free food, I'd take the free food just once a week. If someone offers you free burger and fries on Wednesday, and then someone else tries to offer you something on Thursday, you got to say no, because too much of the greasy foods and high processed foods, it'll stick to you for sure.
And that's basically how I approached it. And like I said, I dropped 50 pounds pretty easily. Is like I prepped my food. I looked into it, try to get like substitutions for certain things, and just try to get
Hmm.
decent food that wasn't like horrible for you. And then
Right.
eating out was only for like once on the weekend, right? Like a cheat meal or whatever it was.
Hmm.
But don't eat the whole damn pizza. Just have like the one slice.
Yeah. 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 It's tough, but it's doable.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
discipline to it, but I think that's I just wanted to quickly go over because that's one thing as a tradesperson. You're either around food as far as like a kitchen, like in our situation, or there's like a
Hmm.
fast food on every corner. There's like
Yeah.
a ton of them, right? So it's real easy to get something on the go, and that it's funny because the bad food is always 10 times cheaper than like the healthy food.
Something for me that I'm doing right now is that's really cheap, um, tastes good, and something I can, have, doesn't take long to cook
Hmm.
is pasta and chicken and or beef. That's what I'm going through right now. So I'll make pasta and spaghetti and just bring it with me. As long as you're not having 2 boxes a day to yourself,
Yeah, that's true.
you'll be all right.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I don't want to keep you too long. We've been here a little bit longer than I had told you.
Uh,
Great, great conversation, great advice. I think we hit everything that I kind of wanted to hit on. I'll make sure
okay,
to
cool.
leave everything in the description. Well, your TikTok and how they can find you. And I enjoy the content, man, because you do not just the HVAC stuff. You give a little insight on what you got going on sometimes. So look forward to seeing more of it.
Yeah.
I've been following you on TikTok for a while, and it's all good stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been great following you too. Love your YouTube videos. I love the information you give out as well. It's good stuff. So I hope to see more from you as well.
I appreciate it, man. It's a lot. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm overwhelmed with everything, but it makes it worth it when I get to sit down with people and have a conversation, or I get those DMs. Right? I don't know if you get messages about people asking you questions and stuff like that. That's always the cool part,
Yeah, yeah, being able to help
or
someone else out
comments.
or just give them insight, it's
That's
always
awesome, man.
awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to close the show out. I appreciate everybody for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next time.